Okay, folks, how are we doing? That's what I'm hoping. We're lower level. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Okay, we'll try it one more time. How are we doing lower level? All right, that's a little bit better. I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, guys, it's my pleasure. Welcome you to the world famous San Diego Zoo. My name is Chili. For the last 103 years, we've been thriving and advancing ourselves in animal welfare as well as conservation science. As we do take the loop today, I've got an opportunity to share a lot of really cool things about our animals, but also what we are doing to conserve them. So as we make our way into the front plaza here, you can see that there are adventures in every single direction. Treetops Way, which is on the upper side of our ticketing tour booth here. We'll get you down to see our orangutans and gorillas. We can get to the Lost Forest area. Now, first group of animals are beautiful flocks of flamingos. These guys are the tallest of the 6 species of flamingos found throughout the world. Now, can anybody here tell me why flamingos stink? Shrimp, crustaceans are part of their primary diet, and there's a pigment inside of them, just like here it has pigments called keratoid. And when these guys digest them, that pigment will actually get dispersed throughout their feathers. So if the feather were to fall off, it actually turns right back into that white or gray color. You might have noticed too that not every flamingo in there was pink, and that's because of the maturity. So after they reach the age of about a year, their digestive system starts to disperse that keratoid pigment. If you're going to continue on the pathway to the left here, that'll get you over to our Discovery Outpost area. Give a shot at the entrance into the Sky Safari and aerial tramline, which you see right in front of us, going over the entire zoo. Ooh, the brakes are bad on this one. Front stage to the left. Not fun at all. Sorry about that, guys. Now, as we get down into Tiger Trail here, I'm going to go over a few quick safety rules. Now, you guys are allowed to stand throughout any portion of the tour. I just ask that you keep both feet planted firmly on the ground, as well as utilizing the rails to the left or right side of the bus. And then please keep your hands, your arms, any type of recording devices, and everything else inside of the bus at all times. I know I can get up close and personal with some of this really cool greenery. You guys are going to get a chance to see about 1.4 million different plant species, which are all right here on our 100 acres of land. Now, San Diego Zoo is the home to the largest botanical garden valley in the United States. Many of the plant species that we have here are a part of our private collection, and a few are even extinct, meaning they're no longer thriving out in the wild. Our Malayan tiger exhibit is right here on our right-hand side. Let's see how many such device can help you find this apex predator. Now, Malayan tigers, just like our fingerprints, have unique and very specific stripes all throughout their body. But those stripes just aren't shown on her fur. They're actually a part of her body. So underneath all of that fur, her body is actually striped as well. Anybody find that? Down at the bottom? Okay, very well. What's really cool about tigers is that they have the ability to thrive in a lot of different habitats. So grasslands, dense forest areas, watersheds, rivers. Now these guys, unlike most cat species, will actually chase their prey into the water. So they have no problem being inside of the water at all. And they do have a little bit of an adaptation for that. These guys have web feet, and that's going to help them swim very, very close. Well, not very close. It's going to help them swim very, very good inside of rivers and lakes. Now, can anybody here tell me why are tigers striped? It's because they don't like being spotted.
That's funny.
Okay, I'll get a little better with the jokes, I promise. A few of them out there. Now, what animal do we have here on the park grounds that you don't want to play poker with? A cheetah. I told you they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. Alright, as we come out of Tiger Trail, our hoofstock animals become right through here. Right on top is gonna be the okapi. And does anybody know why do we call it the okapi? It's because we couldn't find the original. Well, before I know, it's really good, but I got super excited. Our hippos typically aren't out of the water, and check out Mom and her youngling here, right on top. They are catching some vitamin D out, which is really cool. So, oh man, this is such an awesome view. I never get this view. So I do have to stop and have to talk about these guys. I'll go back to the Okapi Red Fires. So they're on the front portion of their faces as well as areas on the back of their neck. It's a little red in coloration, but that's actually due to a secretion of a gooey-type substance known as blood sweat. And what that does is when it crystallizes or hardens when they're out of the water like this, it helps to break apart the UV sun rays from the sun. So it's actually a really cool adaptation if you can produce your own sunblock. That's exactly what these river hippos do. They produce their own sunblock. Now we're doing some research into that and figuring out how we can create a synthetic form of that for people. So not only the animals have a really cool way of adapting to a lot of different environments, but they're also able to help teach us how we can do the same thing. Now, river hippos, the female here, she's probably going to weigh close to about 3,000 pounds, and the bulls, when they reach the age of maturity, can weigh up to 9,000 pounds of weight. Of course, their body structure isn't designed to handle all of that weight, so what they'll do is they'll spend about 16 hours of a 24-hour period submerged in water. This is a really cool behavior. I have to ask about why they're out in the sunlight. So typically, river hippos are going to be very, very skittish or superstitious animals. But they are very, very aggressive animals as well. So they definitely don't have any problems letting you know, hey, I don't like you being in my space. I'm kind of got to get away from me. These guys are really, really good swimmers, very, very fast. But on land, they don't move as fast, but they do tend to be very, very good because of their aggressive. But the Okapi, you can see one coming into view here, is a hoofstock animal. Can anybody tell me, by taking a look at the rear hindquarters of the Okapi, what animal does that look like? It looks like a zebra, but the closest living relative, they're actually distant cousins, is the giraffe. So Maasai giraffes and these guys are closely related. Now they share the same prehensile tongue, which means that it has the same mobility as our tongue. And so there's a lot of cypress trees planted inside of that exhibit there are really well groomed at about 9.5 feet of this length. But their tongues are 15.5 inches on average in length. Really, really cool. Very, very strong tongue. It's also dark purple. That's another adaptation to protecting yourself from the sun. I've given like hundreds of these tours and I've never seen them out of the water like that. That was actually really cool. I've seen river hippos in South Africa before. Even then they weren't out of the water, so I definitely want to ask about that specific behavior. I know sunbathing is quite common amongst many of our animals. Now our Allen swamp monkey, as well as our red-tailed Guinea monkey. So the swamp monkey is going to be right next to the enclosure door there, and the red-tailed Guinea monkeys are going to have a really distinctive coloration on the ends of their tails. It's going to be very red. Now they also share it with the species of otter known as the red-necked spotted otter. What's really cool about these three animals is that they can adapt to each other on a social level. Out in the wild, they'll actually learn or adapt themselves to different calls, so that'll kind of help protect themselves against any of the territory animals that seem to come into their area. They can also do some grooming and playful habits or behaviors with one another, but there's a specific behavior that I've recently observed that I kind of want to observe is the style of fishing that they do. So these river otters will actually mimic fish. They'll come up to the surface of the water and they'll splash around. And these Allen swamp monkeys will come down and sort of take a swat at these river otters, and that kind of mimics the actual action of fishing. Now, Allen swamp monkeys are known for taking seeds or small twigs and leaves and stuff like that and placing them in the rivers or on lakes, and as the fish think that that's an insect or something that they can feed off of, these Allen swamp monkeys will utilize that tactic and actually catch fish that way. It's a really cool thing to see. But not only do we provide an area of sanctuary for these guys, now we have learned that a few of these guys were actually rescued from different parts of the world. They were part of an illegal meat trade or they were being sold as pets. So one of the ways that you guys can be a hero for wildlife is by not advocating or purchasing exotic animals. I do have a question for you guys, another one. How many years do you think it takes to domesticate of wild animals? It takes tens of thousands of years for domestication behaviors, physiological, biological effects take place in order for an animal to be domesticated.
Tigers in your car, remember?
The reason why many of the animal species that we have here will remain as wild as if they were in their natural habitat. The one of the ways that we contribute to maintaining that is by building enclosures that mimic their natural habitat. So just like on the Malayan Tiger exhibit, we've sent researchers and scientists out to Malaysia to study the habitats of where these tigers are thriving. We also do that with an area in Africa known as the African Marsh. And that's going to be on our left-hand side. I'm going to let our kangaroo bus stop pull forward here. Now the African Marsh is controlled by a lot of rainfall. So when the rain dumps down into this area, it fills up the African Marsh and expands the area of water. And that, of course, allows fish to feed off of different things. And that invites our giant pelicans and other birds that call the African Marsh home to thrive off of those fish. We are going to pass the yellow kangaroo bus stop on our left-hand side, and that works just like public transportation. So you have the ability to hop on and hop off these bus stops. There are 4 stops throughout the zoo. I'll do my best to point those out to you guys as we continue the tour. If you're taking a look at that long wooden catwalk on our right-hand side, that's going to be our birds of prey aviary. It's nice and high to see some of our eagles. But we're going to come up Polar Bear Hill here. Now, during the exceptional years of the zoo, we had the very first fully staffed, fully capable veterinarian exotic animal hospital. And what that allows us to do is to maintain every single one of the species that we have here, from reptiles, from reptiles to birds, to our mammals. Now on our left-hand side, we have the War 63 freeway. The only reason why we're mentioning the freeway is because if you drive it 35 miles north into Escondido, California, you'll run right into our sister facility, the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. The Safari Park was officially opened in 1972, but was built previous years to that, and that was to help us take care of a lot of our livestock animals, which are on our right-hand side. So animals like armadillos, wildebeest, water buffaloes, giraffes, rhinos, elephants, all of those breeding herds can be found up at the safari park. And so when herds do have a few new really cute additions, when they start reaching the age of maturity, we tend to separate them and we bring them here so that way they can finish, learning what it's like being a part of their specific species. And then when they're ready to sire their own herds, we introduce them back into the safari park or other zoo facilities across the U.S. Now we're going to see if we can get nice and tucked in here to view our Arctic polar bears. Can anybody help me spot these guys?
¿Ya no estaba?
No. ¿Qué ya no está?
It looks like they're going to be on the other side. So instead of staying here and looking at an exhibit, even though it's really cool, we're actually going to continue to go forward. I'm going to let one of our assisting shuttles to drive right by. Now right where the number 28 mark is, the building to our left-hand side, inside there is basically like one big giant refrigerator. And when it gets really hot outside, the Arctic polar bears have the ability to go right inside and stay nice and cool. Now when these guys are out in their natural habitat of the northern hemisphere of the world, they're going to maintain a really thick wintry coat by consuming seals. And of course here it's a lot warmer, so one of the ways that we help maintain or lessen that really thick winter furry coat is by introducing more of a vegetarian-based diet. So these guys will actually enjoy, along with their favorite meat treats, things like lettuce, cabbage, and carrots. It's really funny to try to watch them kale. Because kale is one of the things that for whatever reason has a particular taste that they don't like. So it's kind of an interesting thing to try to see as we kind of advance ourselves in figuring out how we can maintain these guys here as they continue to thrive and manage here. Now, at the top of the hill here, this is going to be Safari West. So that air tram ride is going to be 4.5 minutes long. It takes you from one side of the zoo all the way to the other. I think is included with your price of admission, so you guys don't have to purchase any tickets. But if you guys are looking to watch a really cool 15-minute movie on our right-hand side, St. Andrews Youth 40 Theater, it's a really cool interactive movie theater experience where a lot of things seem to just want to get you wet or touch you. So if you're interested in that, definitely stop on by. Tickets are sold for $7. Mountain Vine exhibit is on our left-hand side. You didn't get a chance to see it, but it does have a cave at the bottom of the store you like to hang out in. And we do offer our animals the ability of choice as well. So we build private areas for them inside of their enclosures, and that helps them to sort of choose whether they want to be on or off exhibit. So lots of times you're walking around here, you might not be able to see all of your favorite animals, and that might be due to providing them that ability of choice. Now our main wolf exhibit is also on our right-hand side. A really cool animal, not considered to be a wolf, but more closely related to the species of canine, and has a very particular smell. Now that smell is going to smell just like a skunk, but it's very unique to these guys. Now they are primary solitary animals. They're going to spend a good majority of their time all by themselves out in the wild, so one of the good ways that you can help identify one another inside of large areas of your territory is by having a unique smell. I'm going to be for those guys, maned wolves. Now, Rox Hyrax is a small herd inside of this enclosure here. Can anybody tell me? Take a good look at these guys. What are these guys closely related to? Can anybody take a guess? These guys, the closest living relatives to these guys are elephants. How crazy is that? Now, just like elephants do, Rox Hyrax, which are those animals right there, have the ability to grow tusks, just like elephants do. It's a really cool thing to learn. Our female lion is going to be taking a longer afternoon nap. It's also a good way that many of the cat species that we have here conserve a lot of energy. They're going to save a lot of energy by not roaming around in the heat. That's going to get them to be very active during the dawn and dusk hours of the day. Now, of course, male lions, when they start to reach the age of maturity, start to grow that really big, large mane. And the darker the mane gives a really good indication of the age or maturity of the male lion. And I think our jaguar has been in this spot all day. It must be nice and cool in there. Inside of this triangle cave, it's a little covered here, so a little bit of privacy. But as we pass by, take a look at her. She seems to be taking a nice afternoon snooze. Jaguars are very, very strong animals. They have the strongest bite of any cat species. They've been known to crack open turtle shells, bite through skulls, and even consume crocodiles. Now they do have a really cool way of catching their prey. Because they're not built for speed, they'll actually lie in wait until their prey comes very close to them, and they'll utilize that tactic to pounce on them. They're really, really cowards. Now inside of this small herd of guanaco is one single llama. And he's got a white fur coat with brown polka dots. And the subspecies or domesticated version of guanacos are llamas. So as I was talking about tens of thousands of years, these two species are two different species, even though they look very closely, they're very similar in look. They're considered to be two different species, guanacos and llamas. And here is Shaba. She's our beautiful African elephant here. We do have two different species of elephants inside of Elephant Odyssey. We have Asian and African elephants. Can anybody tell me how do we tell our elephant species apart? By their ears, absolutely. Man, you guys are BBC watchers. I love it. So yeah, African elephants have really large signature ears. And one of the cool ways that she's able to use those large ears is that during the hot summer months of Africa, there are really large blood vessels located inside of those ears. So she'll actually flap them back and forth very rapidly. That'll cool down the blood located inside of them, and then in turn that circulates through her body and sort of protects her by keeping her body temperature down. Our elephant care center is on our right-hand side. The state-of-the-art facility was built so that our keepers, elephant keepers and elephant trainers can become very close in contact with our elephants. Now, elephants are very massive inside, as you can see. So if they turn very quickly or swing their trunk out of an interest, it could be kind of a dangerous thing to be around them when they do that. So this entire structure right here helps us to become very close in contact with them. We perform small procedures like pedicures and medical checkups. With positive reinforced training, these guys are taught to navigate this entire structure here. Looks like Stella is finally up and around. She was on the ground for a good majority of the day, kind of resting and saving a lot of her energy. And Stella right here on our right-hand side, she's going to be our secretary bird. Now, secretary birds are found throughout all three areas of Africa. She does have the ability of flight, but she's going to spend a good majority of her time on the ground. She utilizes her really long stilt legs to create a little bit of distance between her and her favorite prey, which happens to be snakes, venomous snakes. What she'll do is she'll pin down the back of the head of a venomous snake, tear the head off, which is where all the venom is located, and then consume the snake whole.
Oh, yeah.
But she is a really good representation of those birds of prey.
And who's the other one?
There's also a magpie bird located inside of that enclosure. So this entire area is for our elephants. Now, elephants do need a bunch of space, and one of the ways that we were able to determine how much space they needed was we did a study called the walking study. And we basically retrofitted our elephants here and elephants out in the wild with a Fitbit. And we monitored the amount of distance that they covered in the wild and inside of managed care. What we found is that elephants inside of our facility actually traveled the same amount of distance as elephants did out in the wild. And so one of the ways that we were encouraging this is by placing different enrichment items that were held by these utilitrees. These utilitrees have some winches on them, and periodically they'll drop some enrichment items for our elephants to interact with. Now, enrichment items are placed all throughout our enclosures for many of our different animal species, and that's going to help them to exhibit a lot of their natural behaviors. So things like smelling certain scents or foraging for food. Sometimes we'll place food underneath logs or rocks or inside the middle of a tree or a bush, and that's going to help them sort of reenact or recreate that foraging behavior. Now, these guys are really cool. These are camels. They are found all throughout Africa. Commonly in the most deserty areas where these guys survive without having long days of having anything to drink. But I always like asking the fun question of what do you think is inside the hump of a camel? A lot of people answer the question with water, but a small percentage of fat has more energy than water. So inside the hump of a camel is a really large storage area of fat. So it gives these guys that ability to go a long days without having anything to eat, even longer without having anything to drink. Now, California condors are my most favorite bird to watch because they have so many different unique behavior aspects. So check this guy out up here. Their wingspans are about 9.5 feet in width, so about the width of the bus, maybe just slightly outside of it. California condors in the early 1980s were on the brink of extinction. There was only an estimated 22 of them left out in the wild. Now, their habitats are found throughout the southern west coast of the United States and different areas of the world. But lead poisoning, loss of habitat, and the illegal poaching of these birds was contributing to the decline of their population. Since then, we've had a conservation program right here at the world-famous San Diego Zoo that has successfully hand-reared condor chicks. We've bred over 200 of these guys and then released them back out into the wild. So as they stand today, there are over 490 of these California condors now thriving here in Southern California. It's a really cool thing that we've done in efforts of conservation of these birds. And it's going to be Kangaroo Bus Stop number 4, exiting Elephant Odyssey. We are at map location number 10. There are a ton of restrooms here. And if you're wondering where the entrance is to Sabertooth Grill, that's going to be that pathway right there. Now, Sabertooth Grill only sells locally sourced food and goods. So one of my favorite things in there, they just redid their menu, is the deep fried avocados. It's crazy. They're so good. If you guys are ever interested in that, Sabertooth Grill is the one that sells it. Also on our right-hand side are a small population of meerkats. These guys do have a really cool adaptation by using the natural ability of sight to protect every member of their family. They have what's known as sentry meerkats or guard meerkats. Their job is basically to stand in one position, typically on a high point, and look at the area around them to avoid predators coming close to their family. They'll actually have a peak, which is sound frequency that they're able to give off that we can't hear, but it's very, very well identifiable by many of the other meerkat families.
That's my daddy. That's my daddy. That's my daddy.
That's your daddy. Okay.
Remember when we saw one of the animals meditating?
Now, rock hyrax, the small herd, can also be found right here inside of the African coffee. Now, the African coffee is a really cool but ancient clip springers. I love these guys. Actually, I like all the animals we have here. But these guys are really cool. Now, they are very, very athletic, or agile, I should say. They have the ability to navigate this entire rock structure, which is ancient volcanic rock structures that go deep underground. So when rainfall hits these rocks, it actually puts into at the lower base of this, and then that's what gives this entire habitat the ability to survive during large drought or periods of drought throughout Africa. That's going to be our clip springer here, located inside of African rock coffee. There's another good replica of it, a nice little statue there. Now we travel to a different area known as the Ethiopian highlands. Many of these plants that are planted right here on the right-hand side are thriving inside of that harsh environment, very desolate desert area. Hamadryas baboons also call the Ethiopian highlands home. If you were a nice pasty green plant and you didn't want to be eaten, one of the things that you might start to grow is spikes and thorns. So a lot of these plants will have spikes or thorns, and that's going to deter a lot of animals from taking a bite of them. If you have little to no rainwater throughout the year, you're going to want to conserve that as much as possible. And these plants have done a really great way of doing that. Now, Hamadryas baboons do have a lot of different behaviors too, but there's one behavior we haven't quite been able to figure out. They do a single file deliberate parade from one side of their exhibit all the way to the other twice a day. We don't know if it's like a scratch or a yell or someone pulls a tail and says, hey, we all got to get in line, but they do really cool behavior aspects that they do. One of the things that continually throw us for a loop. Female population of koalas is right through the brush here. Nothing a little difficult to see, but we're going to take a pass on the back side of that. Talk about those guys a little bit later. Also on our right-hand side is going to be kangaroo bus stop number 1. And that's going to be the closest kangaroo bus stop as you guys exit the bus. So all you got to do is get back on Front Street, make your way to Sleeping Plaza, and that's going to be the closest bus stop. But down there, inside of Urban Jungle, is going to be our herd of giraffes. And giraffes have the same tongue as the okapis do. And it's still going to be the same length, 15.5 inches on average in length. We also have cheetahs back there as well. Can anybody tell me miles per hour, how fast can cheetahs go? They can get to speeds of 70 miles an hour in under 6 seconds. They are super, super fast. Of course, if you're running that fast, you're trying to catch your prey. Smashing right into them at 70 miles an hour might not feel too comfortable. So they use a tripping tactic to strip their prey and then utilize that opportunity to thrive or hunt their prey. They also have a thin toenail that's located very high up on their paws. Our snow leopard population is right here in this enclosure. Right about now is when these guys are going to start to come out. The day starts to cool down, things start to get a little bit quieter, especially when these guys come out. Now they are solitary cats unless they're among the mates. Their environment is 13,000 feet above sea level in the Himalaya Mountains. So I think it's really hard for researchers and scientists to get all the way up there and study these guys, but we place some track cameras up there. So whenever there's a movement of an animal that walks by these track cameras, they turn on and they help us learn a lot of different things which we normally wouldn't be able to do because of that harsh environment. Smallest river otter is going to be right here. Go right by that, because I do believe our North American grizzly bears are now. Now these two guys were brothers, so He's gonna go through the wall. So I'm gonna go to the other side where this runner is located. There he goes. Now these two North American grizzly bears were brought to us from the Yellowstone National Park. They were in trouble with the law there. Mom had caught them on some unfortunate behaviors of foraging for food inside of garbage cans. So as they got older, they continued to exhibit that same behavior, and of course that put them in close proximity with people a lot. And so instead of having anything bad happen to them or having to continually track them down and capture them and reintroduce them into different areas of Yellowstone National Park, we brought them here to continue to thrive inside Management. These guys are doing a phenomenal job. A couple of weeks ago, we had an article that snowmakers come and jump a ton of snow inside of their enclosure, and they absolutely loved it. Now, you guys are really, really good nature speakers. You guys spend a lot of time interacting or seeing animals. We do like to tell people to not feed animals that are out in the wild, because then they have the impression that we are a source of food. Now, if we travel to South America, we can see a bear known as the Andes mountain bear. We do have one male and one female. Now, these guys too are a part of that SSP program, Survival Species Plan. And they are a science coordinator. Their job, like I said, is to use that online material and then share it with other research areas across the U.S. and even some parts of the world. Our endangered species are our highest priority when increasing the opportunities for breeding. Not only does that help their population and conservation, but it also helps to breed the diversity inside of their gene pool. So the more diverse of a gene that you have that's represented in a specific species, you get the probability of that species being able to survive at a much higher level. Now, Andes mountain bears, take a look at the front portion of their face. They do have the nickname of being spectacled bears as well, and that's due to those purple lines around their eyes. Researchers have begun to study these guys in the early 1920s. They noticed that this was a very predominant and identical feature for these Andes mountain bears. Yeah, it looks like a board got dropped down there. Now, these guys are really, really, really good climbers. So, along with recreating what they normally have inside their habitat, we're also creating an abundance of areas for these guys to climb and sort of exhibit that natural behavior to climb. We're going to see some really cool actions here. Continue to go on here. We make our way down on the opposite side of the Lost Forest. Fern Canyon Trail is this pathway on our left-hand side, the fastest way to get back up to the front entrance of the zoo. And it's also got a pathway that leads you into Owens Aviary. Now, Owens Aviary was built back in 1936, world, and it houses over 200 different bird species, double row. So what's really cool is the catwalk that goes right through this free-flighted bird aviary gives you the opportunity to view all 200 of these species of birds. And we just passed our breeding cycle for many of the birds in there, so there's quite a few nests in there. Some of them are enclosed and a few of them are open, so you get an opportunity to go in there and see how many snakes you guys can spot. Bottom of Center Street here is Waimea Cafe. Waimea was our very first giant panda. She led the way in helping us for the past 23 years in our conservation and research project, a collaboration with the country of China to help breed these species of endangered animals back into a higher population count. Our second entrance into Africa Rock, so the very first one's going to be up where the Ethiopian Highlands area was, and this is the area in which it's going to take you if you enter up there. But If you're down here at Waimea Cafe, you go right through this underground concrete bunker here. You get a really cool underwater view of our African Cape penguins. Now they do share their salty water exhibit with a species of shark known as the leopard shark. When we put these two guys together, we were a little concerned that these leopard sharks were going to find the African Cape penguins on the tasting menu, but researchers assured us that leopard sharks were bottom ocean feeders and primarily fed off of crustaceans found on the ocean floor. Our bird keeper is out doing some really cool hand feeding.
The password, guys. Remember the password now.
Now there's a really long island off the coast of southern Africa known as Madagascar. Madagascar houses hundreds of thousands of different diverse plants, species of animals, and insects which can't be found in any other part of the world. Animals like our population of lemurs, we represent 5 different species of lemurs here inside of Africa, as well as red monkeys, ibex monkeys. Our second largest three-flighted bird aviary is also along that wall there. Now that one has over 24 different bird species flying all throughout that three-flighted bird aviary. We also have leopards located in here, as well as the population of ibex monkeys. And we also have the pleasure of working with the country of Australia. Each one of these burlap curtains on our right-hand side are going to house one single male koala. What's really cool about having your own bachelor pad is that you don't have to worry about anybody taking your food. But these guys are actually very territorial, so they can get a little aggressive with each other, so that's the reason why they're separated. Can anybody tell me what do koalas eat? It's the only thing that they eat. They don't eat anything else. It's eucalyptus. There are several versions of eucalyptus, but several of those versions are actually very poisonous to other animals except for koalas. So if eucalyptus were to ever disappear, unfortunately, that probably would be the end of koalas, but these guys are thriving off a plant that no one else eats, so the probability of that happening is very slim. Now, can anybody tell me, what do we call baby koalas? They have a nickname. Starts with the letter J. They're called joeys. Well, actually, all marsupial babies are called joeys. That's because mom has the ability to utilize a pouch to raise her young. What other animals utilize a pouch? Kangaroos, wallabies, opossums. Those are all part of the marsupial family. But when a baby koala is born, kind of push Joey and born together. When they are born, when a joey is born, they are born at the size of a jelly bean. So they are super, super small. Obviously very vulnerable, but they don't have the full development of their hair or their ears or their eyes. So mom very quickly moves them inside of that pouch where they continue to develop over the next 6 months. After about 6 months period, there's a lot of encouragement to have that koala jump on mom's back, where it begins to learn what life is like being a koala. Now, many of you have ever heard of koala. They have sort of like this bark growl noise that they make. It's really quite interesting. I wasn't expecting it the first time I got to hear a koala make any kind of noise. Now as we make our second pass into Sydney's Plaza, you guys have seen a lot of different opportunities to take something home with you that represents your visit here with us today. And because we're a non-profit organization, every single one of your dollars goes right back into our efforts of conservation. We actually have over 144 of these programs going worldwide, 365 days throughout the year. Of course, none of what we do here is possible without you guys. So even by simply visiting us here at the world-famous San Diego Zoo, you guys align yourselves with our greatest mission in ending animal extinction, as well as furthering our efforts in conservation science. Well guys, it's been my pleasure to spend the last 38 minutes with you guys. You guys were awesome. You laughed at all my jokes.
But again, my name is Chili. I hope you guys enjoyed the guided bus tour provided here at the world famous San Diego Zoo. Enjoy your weekend. I know tomorrow we get to start all over again. As we come to the unloading dock here, I'll undo the doors at the bottom and then I'll be right up top to let you guys out. Watch your steps, be careful because it's a zoo out there.